we just barely survived everything and escaped.
Okay, well, I'm at 3540 Zenit out of the nearly 4,000, I think, that I needed to get my project done for my weapon. Would any of you be
Yeah.
willing to bot me a little extra so that I can start it while we're on the road?
Sure.
I feel like I've been working towards getting that stuff together forever. And since I got the main difficult crafting item, the crystal essence of Novio collected, I just need the money now and the time spent.
With those thoughts in mind, hello everyone. I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and today we are playing another episode of Fabula Ultima, the castle that would pierce the horizon. And you were just hearing some planning for a rather grand project. But before we get to that, get to our poem of the week. From Corio's fields where grasses sway, the winds of fate led hearts astray. The heroes stood at crossroads wide, where destiny would not decide. The grand Corio port beckoned, their streets a maze, riddled with fury, the sorceress's gaze. Her wrath had scarred the city's soul, yet in her storm there burned a goal. Or Nisa's canals, where secrets flow, in twisting waters fortunes grow. But whispers dark from shadow deep might drag the bold into the deep. Or, farther still, where sky meets land, the castle high mount made it stand, a place where towers pierce the sky, where truth may wait but danger lies. The choice was theirs, no guide but will, to follow fate or climb the hill. Should they confront the chaos near, or seek the tower, free of fear? So sing of them who made their way, with hearts of steel and skies of gray, to find their course, to break the chains, and defy the storm that calls their names. For on their journey, bold they roam, no road is fixed, no path is home. They seek their truth, their fate to break, on journey on, for Ascara's sake. Return back to the Countless Realms in a grassland plain along in the shadow of mountains of hills, I should say, and ocean of Coriostillum. Last you had all encountered, you had crossed the paths of a delegation, a Coriostillum delegation by the Valerian House, led by Senator House Valerian. Was heading north, and you had learned of some rather dire news that the estate of Vantus had been consumed in Sorcerer's Flame. But there's still more journey and rail ahead of you. So the question remains, is there any rest you do on the road, or do you just carry on the rails to the south?
Do we need rest? Is anyone low on health? Oh, we should rest. I'm looking at my HP right now, and that's a 16.
I could also do with some rest.
Stretch.
Yeah, I actually got healed up to full at the end of the last big altercation, but if you guys want to rest, I'm okay with that. We can all reset.
I'm also okay. I'm also okay with resting, whichever you guys want to do.
Yeah, if y'all want to rest, let's rest.
Plus, it gives you a chance to set your new camp action.
Yep.
I am in crisis, so I definitely should rest.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Did you ever use that magic lesson, Lucius?
Nope.
Lost.
It's
now.
okay. It's okay.
We'll try it again. How would you like to learn Clones of Light?
Sure. If you want to give it to me again.
Actually, I'm thinking it might be even wilder to give it to someone who's got a big gun to shoot with. But
I don't have a whole lot of MP, actually, so...
Oh, okay, so you're not a good option.
Yeah, it would absolutely empty out my
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
Appreciate you though.
And
Well,
I
I know
have the
you-
thing that let some of the stuff I do actually like gives me back MP in addition to
Yeah.
other effects.
Well, that's fine. I'll offer you the magic lesson again.
A faint glimpse into the mysteries of the Clones of Light spell. Shared by Aether to Lucius.
And I believe arrest is when we can also like do things like alter bonds, right?
You can alter a bond, yes.
A single bond. I'm going to add a bond. I think I'm going to change my old bond of mistrust for loyalty.
Hmm. Yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. Lucius is going to daydream.
Solid choice.
What is a daydream about?
He daydreams about days gone by. Times when he was happy with his family.
Don't worry, at least one of them's okay.
So it was when you were like 5 or 6 years old, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'd like to use the sleep soundly action.
You actually get to sleep in your train. Like, get to be nice and comfy and everything.
Comfy. It's a train bunk. How comfy could it be? It's good. It's fine.
I hate to ask, but do you know a secret where you can share that to me IRL? Because I need it.
It's the pins in Discord. Whoa, secret. If you're talking about sleep soundly IRL, no, I'm going on very minimal sleep today.
That is also
So
in the pins.
unfortunately,
You got
I'll
my
need to take
hopes
this
up.
advice myself. All right.
You got my hopes up and everything.
Oh, jeez.
Unfortunately, I haven't been given the power to affect the real world, but who knows? You might find some artifacts in there that this turns into a very meta story.
I think.
Turns into an ARG. ARP? ARP. Not ARG, I was right the first time. Sorry, you were saying? I'm just babbling over here more, Duncan.
Yeah, I think I'll also choose to sleep soundly.
Very good. A daydream is had. Nice, comfortable sleep is snatched from the darkness, and some magical lessons are shared. Does the train carry on? Southward journey.
Yeah, because I think that's where we agreed we were gonna go.
Like, currently you can go north or south unless you're leaving the train.
Oh. South, because I think we were gonna go to Corio
Yep.
and like
We
wrap
can-
up our business in Corio, and then decide how we were gonna proceed.
Another day
Yeah.
goes by, and you run into nothing of particular note as you enjoy the train flying across the countryside, across rails of magical light. And on the next day, you find the Leyline Nexus, about halfway across your journey, where you can head south to Corio or north to Zona.
You said south?
Yeah, south to Corio.
South Korea it is.
As you pass through the Nexus, I will ask for willpower for all of you as part of it. Something is happening at the Leyline Nexus.
A roll
Oh?
requiring what stat?
Willpower
Ah,
plus something else.
I
Okay.
will do willpower insight.
yeah, same. I think the majority of the party are insight for some reason.
Pure willpower for me.
Oh, nice. Glad we have one in the party.
Womp.
Is this an open roll or no?
Opposed.
Okay, then I won't add my.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Huh.
You know, can I
Bruh.
spend Fabula to journeying merchant on this? I've been on the roads a lot and I've seen a lot of stuff, so I know to keep myself alert for trouble.
I'll take that from you.
Hooray!
Hooray.
That's better.
Lucius, give me another roll because we tied. This roll is simply to figure out whether whether I beat you or not.
Mhm.
Nope, you break the tie. So you're okay. Moore's okay. Any reroll from our mechanic or our shape changer?
I guess I'm blissfully unaware.
I choose not to reroll.
As you approach the Nexus, you guys saw the Nexus. Oh, you saw the Nexus coming the other way. The Nexus, as you approach every ley line you come across, as you guys have gotten more and more used to it, it's a bright blue line that kind of stretches out ahead of you. It almost looks like a monorail as you approach it, but it splits off to match up with your wheels, so it keeps you from like tipping over and stuff. And then as you continue on, it goes back to a single line again behind you. But when you get to a Nexus, it looks like almost like a spider web of light as you approach. And even as you approach it, when you approached it last time, Nexi like this have, or Loci I should say, have tend to have a lot of natural growth, like a field of flowers, fairy rings. Creatures tend not to be terribly hostile, that sort of thing. They are places where ritual magic is done, but you get to encounter anyone doing it. But all of you would have heard of people going to places of power and casting magic rituals. You don't see anyone there, as you kind of this one the few times where Zevin actually has to fiddle with the controls of the train to kind of force it, because there's no switch for you to hit because it's magic, right? So you're basically trying to get the train to lean toward one over the other, so it activates one rail over the other. And as you do that, for a brief moment, Moore and Lucius have a vision of a dark cloud streaming across the clear sky to the east. And it is almost like a storm, except it's moving far too fast, and it's this little cloud high above, while the rest of the sky is far clearer than anything else.
Like, just due east?
Yeah.
And does it feel close? Does it feel far?
It's high up in the sky like clouds.
Does this count as stumbling across a danger or discovery?
I would say so, yeah.
In that case, I'm going to make use of my mysterious grimoire.
Haha.
I think I will. I think the first question, or rather, I think the question that I will ask
Mm-hmm.
is that the sorceress is doing?
Yes.
I will look at the others with a grim expression and say the sorceress is doing that, and I'll point at it, at the cloud.
And the cloud seems to be traveling westward.
Try again.
Eastward.
Sorry. The cloud seems to be traveling eastward.
Yes.
It's okay. I'm also dyslexic.
Yes.
Remember, the
Yeah.
cloud is a vision in your minds. I
Mhm.
I do not see it.
Yeah,
Ah,
both
got
7
it.
Aethers suffer 20 dark damage as
Oh,
they feel a intense headache as they pass across the nexus.
Yeah. Okay.
Ow.
So by the time you
More.
guys have pointed it out, the headache is like, that really hurts, and then by the time the headache goes away, you look up and whatever they're pointing out's gone.
gone.
Got it.
Almost like she
Lady
made this-
Duncan, was that?
Hmm?
He just goes like, was that? Like he's waiting for you to like confirm.
I think that was the sorceress.
Wonderful.
Well, on the plus side, we missed her.
Yes, but from what Moore and I saw, it would appear that that wicked witch is going to the east.
Explains the headache. All right. Should be,
Womp womp.
what's the plan?
I think continuing our current, tie up things in choreo and then determine from there is probably still our best option, because we have no way of following her unless we want to try to reenact her dark ritual, I guess.
We went north and headed back. Try to head to the duchy earlier.
Yeah, I think the duchy can get us wherever we need to go next fastest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll tie my ears down around my neck like it's holding a headache in, like a cartoon character for a moment.
Aw.
Big saucer plate eyes.
Not the big round saucer plate eyes.
Yeah.
No.
Ears welling up.
Anyways,
Then-
Lucius, is whatever you gotta do there more important than this? And we
Well-
won't be coming back.
Well, it's quite possible that hang on, let me do some quick mental math. What is the travel speed of a ship?
About 3 hexes.
Oh, okay. Hang on. I'm gonna do some quick math here.
I think we'd already figured out that getting a message to the Grand Duchy of Wokomal and getting teleported would save us time if we can do it quickly.
Yeah.
And we were hoping that somebody in Choreo would have a
Who would have a way of
somebody
doing
somewhere
that.
there would have a quick message.
Yeah.
Capability that we are unaware
My-
of currently. To the
yeah,
Grand
my-
Duchy of Wokomal.
Yeah, my reasoning is given my new status, I may be able to affect something within, what was the name of that church? The Church of the Something Flame?
Eternal
Eternal
Flame.
Flame.
Yeah, Church of the Eternal Flame. Someone
Yeah,
there
you
might
have-
be able to help us, and, well, given that I'm the last pilgrim to Mount Novio,
They might be inclined to help. And I believe there was one other thing we needed to do before we left, and that was to see if we could actually cement some sort of trade agreement with the Duchy of Welcome or a
Yeah.
alliance. Is that right?
right,
That was the
that's
other
the
last bit of business we had.
yeah. And it's a bit of business that, like, if we can accomplish it while we're there, great. If not, oh well, that's a side quest that we have to let slip through the cracks.
Yep. 100% agree.
So yeah, southward to Corio.
Indeed, southward. There'll be an extra day's worth of travel.
Yep.
Yeah, so halfway through the day is when you hit the Nexus, and then the rest of the day you get, you can see the city of Corio on the horizon. You can see, even from this distance on the horizon, a smoldering black pillar of smoke emanating from the city upon the hill.
Oh god.
That looks ominous.
What were we expecting to find after everything we'd accomplished?
He just grips the windowsill.
Like the sorceress had a party before she left.
Indeed.
Oops, I'm all the way down. There we go. Oh. As you try to approach the city of Corio, you are halted. As a group of centurions are blocking the rail.
Oh?
Oops.
They're blocking the
They're
whole
blocking
rail,
the-
huh?
Hmm.
Well, we can't hit them. I'll need to hit the brakes. Not the emergency brakes, mind you.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, if they
you
want
can
to live, they'll get out of the way. But yes, we should probably. Right.
Yeah, and you see them. You see this a unit of a sort of makeshift barricade has been set up, and you see various centurions, kind of in their makeshift fortification. You get the feeling that if you really hammered down, you probably could blow through it, but you'd, be smashing their thing to cinders. But as you pull to a stop, you can see you have plenty of time to see them, so you don't have to like slam on the brakes like you say. You can like kind of guide yourself to a stop. Do you stop like a fair distance away from them, or do you like stop very close so you can talk from the train at them?
I'll stop where I can talk from the train.
As you approach, they start spreading out a little bit. Not entirely sure you're not going to charge at them, but then you do come to a stop, more or less. You there, the train! Calls out one of them.
Yeah, why are you blocking the road? What's going on? Better, good reason for this.
By order of the Senate, the city's roads have been closed. None are to enter.
Why is that?
Would it have anything to do with the rising plume of smoke?
Zevin, you can give me willpower as part of it. They may just tell you because you're not being unreasonable. It's a perfectly normal question to ask.
Okay. You said a willpower?
Yes,
Okay. Uh, don't tell me I lost the one. Okay. I'm having some technical difficulties.
It's okay.
There we go.
I blame Lucius.
Power. Finally, she's thrown him under the bus. He stared too smugly at his screen.
Smug,
9.
smug, smug.
I do not recognize this train as one of our noble republic, so I feel no particular inclination to tell you other than to say and repeat that it is by order of the Senate.
Well, perhaps I may be able to clear some matters up as Lucius steps forward. The Senate will likely want to hear from us. We bring news from Mount Novio.
You may roll to attempt to assist.
Nope.
Whatever dire news remains will have to remain with you. Entry is forbidden. Go back the way you came.
May I stick my head out of a window and just say, please, and put on my cutest face? Try to help.
You can try to help, yeah.
I don't think it will, but I'll do it anyway. What's the worst that can happen? Get thrown in jail, right? But no, I will attempt to be cute.
It looks like you convinced the regular guards, but their leader kind of gives them a look and they straighten up. You convinced these guys, but not the leader. I am quite sorry, but by order of the Senate, the city is closed.
I don't see how we can get past this without fighting.
Insight is part of it, Lucius.
I will insight. Is this an open roll?
Yeah.
Cool. I get a +3 to this. There we go.
So with your expert knowledge of all things Coriastellum, you aren't aware. You're aware that if there's a seal of the city by order of the Senate, it's usually like a disaster or like wartime or maybe
Correct.
a beast attack, like a dragon attacking them or something. But
Yes.
I mean, those are all valid reasons, and once in a while, you've heard of it happening once or twice in your life. It's extremely rare because sealing up the city is expensive, not good for trade. There's lots of reasons you don't want to do it, but if you have to, you have to.
There are a few. There are a few good reasons why you do it.
This is not the way you do it. You would stop people at the gate, not like, a few hundred feet, a few hundred yards away from the city. Like, you're not at the castle walls. This is some random fortification that's blocking the way. This is abnormal. This isn't how you do it. In fact, this constitutes highway robbery.
So he's overstepping his authority. There you go.
If I may ask, why set this blockade so far from the city gates? If I remember my ordinances correctly, such blockades should not occur more than 5 victims beyond the city limits.
Their leader eyes you. Eyes their fortification. You see a magi kind of moving a little closer. Archer kind of shifting in their little watchtower. The guards shifting behind their fortifications. Call us concerned citizens.
So this is a citizen's blockade and thus has no authority under that of the Senate.
Yeah, you pick one. Gotta be one or the other.
You either have the authority or you don't.
I'd like to lean over and just whisper, maybe we should start the train back up and get ready to roll through them.
Yeah, I think I get things ready.
I will say willpower is part of it at +2. One of you leads, the rest assist, as you're trying to basically bully them out of your way. I'm giving +2 to the roll because that's a train. They can, in theory, do something to hurt it or maybe just derail it, but that's not a thing most Coriostellan people know how to do. In Oscara, there's like tons of ways to do it. There's like little mines and spikes. There's a bunch of ways you can derail a train. This is Corio. They don't run into these rail trains very often.
I just want to confirm something about my own stats. Willpower. More, you would be better than me at this.
Yeah, I've got D10s.
And it's going to be opposed by the leader.
And you have Fabula to spend.
The leader... No matter if they're leader or not.
I'm trying to think if there's something I can do to help.
Hey, there we go.
So yeah, basically full-on officious merchant. Whatever reason the city is closed, surely it would benefit from what we both our news and our trade.
Wow.
Oh wow.
You barely
What
get in. You barely get into it. Like you really start. You're trying to getting all fishious at them, and the train rolling forward is they kind of fold fairly quickly, and move out of the way.
When you fumble.
I'd like to add that since there were a number of those troops underneath the leader who had been moved by my cuteness earlier, I'll just sort of lean out my head and one of my ears will give those men a gentle, friendly wave as we roll by them.
They get very secretive, like waves back, and before the leader kind of glares at the train, like they really want to do something, but it now occurs to you as you pass by them, and your train just very easily pushes aside their fortifications. I mean, they're wood held together with nails and hope.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything they're supposed to do to actually stop a train. There are ways to do it in this world. This isn't one of them. Especially a magical train that's following ley lines. Like, no. So she watches as her fortification gets demolished. And then as you guys are passing, the guards are making the little secret wave. She glares over at them. They kind of stand officious. And when she looks away again, they look at each other and there's that look of, maybe we should be following somebody else.
Womp womp.
Onward.
And I totally forgot. Haha! I think that bottoms them out. I think they're back to. Ah.
That was close.
With that, you're able to enter into the city of Coriostellum. When you do pass by the gates, you get a very a brief warning that to avoid the patrician quarter. There is a relief effort going on up there due to a massive fire. But the rest of the city's open to you. And they let you go in. Like, they don't charge you tolls or anything. They just let you know, hey, by the way, don't go up there. There's no specific rule. It's just it's not safe to go up there right now.
Advisory.
Yeah. It seemed you learned very quickly. Oh yeah, the city isn't closed, and this is what you would expect from a big fire, Lucius. Like a disaster happened in the city. Like yeah, they close off that part of the city. The rest of the city isn't in danger.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still see the plume
well.
of blackish smoke as you can tell where your house estate was. You can still see the smoldering purplish black smoke rising out of that part of the city. And people come and go.
Cool.
Not the first terrible thing that's happened to this town. There's all kinds of Choreo is a city of many things. So I will say the streets look far less militarized, and it looks bustling, but it's not full of that cheer and bristliness from a big celebration. It's just another day in the capital of the Republic.
Well, if we're going to accomplish anything here, we're going to need some official backing. And considering events as of late, our best bet at achieving that official backing will be at the Church of the Eternal Flame.
I'll nod.
Hopefully my new title will give me some sway there.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Do we have other business we can accomplish at the same time? Should we divide our forces? Or is that not a good idea right now?
I could gather some information about the what caused that, and I will gesture toward the smoke. I mean, assuming
Not a
it
bad idea.
wasn't your spirit friend.
I could restock my inventory points.
All right. Well, if you're going to go and try to get information, I can be around to back you up if you get into trouble.
All right. I'll go to a nearby tavern.
Okay.
Planning to engage in some tavern talk.
Meanwhile, Lucius will head to the Temple of the Eternal Flame.
I suppose we're resolving more Duncan and Aether's jaunt into a tavern first, as more Duncan has a talent for wayfaring and is able to, without a roll, just straight up get answers to questions pretty quickly, as you know the kind of people who are willing to share information and they don't mind. Or if you need to pay them, it costs a zenith to buy them a drink and they'll tell you whatever they know. It's just polite wayfarerness of, hey, if you buy me something, anything, I'll answer your questions.
Yeah.
Save me from buying my own food. I'll answer questions.
I'll ask about the
How many questions
fire.
did you get? Sorry.
One, because I only have it at level 1.
What was your query again? I'm sorry.
What caused the fire?
You learn from a wayfarer who was here before the fire that there was, from what he's been told, there was some magical battle that happened on the estate, and then the whole of the estate was set afire in purple flame, and there was alarms everywhere, and whatever battle happened kind of phased away because the fire became the one thing everyone cared about, and who the sorcerer supposedly escaped. But that still left a massive stretch of land on fire. They've kind of put it out, but it smolders sometimes, and it kind of flares up from time to time.
That's troubling. Is it possible for me to ask this person a follow-up question?
You certainly try.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask what happened to the members of the House of Vantis up there.
You can give me insight as part of it. You're at a -2 because the Wayfarer doesn't know the nitty-gritty details of the city. They're not from here. But they may be able to give you answers whether they don't know precisely the answer, but you may be able to figure out what the answer is.
Yeah, they give you incomplete information, but you have the other half.
Yeah. I gotta know, does this help?
I don't think my help would help.
No, yeah, because you only get it up to 12. You need 13 for the next tier.
Yep.
What was your query again? I'm sorry.
What happened to the members of the House Advantis?
Well, the common rumor is they have, they're still at the estate trying to help coordinate fighting the fire. I don't think they actually left. But, yeah, there was no, like, official announcement or anything. That's just what I heard. Although I don't know if they were choosing to be there or they had to be there. That's the part I don't know about. Some people say they were under arrest. Some people say they were resting. Some people said they were hurt. He shrugs.
Why would they be under arrest?
Shrugs at you. I know.
I shrug back at him. Thanks a lot for the information. It was helpful.
Oh, thanks for the free food. Anything Anthony gets up to while you're still at the tavern?
I'd like to ask how much you might be willing to spot me to get my project started when we get back on the road.
How much do you need?
Well, I'm shy by like 460. I have 3540. I need 4,000.
Okay. I'll give you 500 because that makes it a round number.
I really appreciate it. I'll get it back to you the next time we have a windfall.
Fair enough.
I'll give you a hug and big teary eyes. Thank you so much.
Projects usually help the whole group, so I consider it an investment.
Right.
With that monies, you're able to spend that to buy up the supplies required to, on your next rest camp action, you can start doing work toward the project. As you would have to apply the various things you found to get to change the weapon in the way you're trying to get it to work.
Right. So you're saying we should like take a detour through to spend the Zenit to get the materials on the way back to the train?
Yeah, yeah. I'm willing to say you're able to buy that on your way back to meet with everyone else.
Okay, then I'll just spend it.
Especially in a city like Coruscant, this is the sort of place you would buy that sort of stuff from.
All right, great, thank you.
Zevin Demeril.
Yep.
You're going market shop. You're going to do a bit of shopping yourself, no?
Yep. I'm going to refill my my inventory points. I'm going to see what they got.
Able to refill your inventory points at the normal value.
Mm-hmm.
And any particular type of item you're hoping to find while you're browsing around? Better armor, better weapon, better accessory, an artifact, perhaps.
You know what? Artifact. Let's see what they got.
I will ask for insight as part of it to find to see of the various artifacts which one's actually a real artifact that's worth the money they're charging.
I'm a sniffing.
And I'm helping. I will help you find it if I can.
Weren't you off with
Sorry,
more?
I got confused. Ignore me.
With that number, You come across someone who's selling a variety of spirit gems. A variety of colorful stones that are inside of a pouch. And at first, there's the first thought of, well, gems are another way to spend zenith. Like, coins are common, but gems are, universal. You can find them in dungeons and stuff. But your eye catches that they gleam with a magical light, which is something you've seen more often than not. And as an Askaran, magical stone, a rich Askaran is the one who can tell the difference between a regular rock and a magical rock. One can be turned into a magisphere. The other one is a good paperweight for spending money.
Exactly.
These look to be linked to each other because as they kind of demonstrate, they don't demonstrate any knowledge of exactly what exactly they do, but you're able to discern that these are some sort of artifact that, according to the seller, are of great use to magic users.
And the rocks are linked together, you say?
Yeah, because you notice as they pull them apart, like they take one out of the bag and put it like separate and move the bag on the other side of the table. That rock that's on its own stops emitting light, and all the other ones dim as well. But when they rejoin that other rock back with the others, they all glow together.
Huh. I can see a use for this. Sure.
Oh,
How much?
Well, you see, these are pretty rare. Give me willpower as part of it as you start haggling the price back and forth, because the initial price is stupid high. But you get the feeling that's intentional. It's to start the haggle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Hoo-hoo. He drives a hard bargain.
If you accept that price without haggling, your money was better off with them.
We roll off again because we tied.
Ooh, no, I'm re-rolling that. That is my pride at stake.
2 and a 1. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. What trait are you invoking?
I'm from Mascara. I should know how to cut a good deal.
That I'll take, yeah, especially for magic rocks like this.
Can the reroll be for the original 11 so that there's no roll off needed?
That
I
would
rolled
have
11 on my re-roll.
I was curious how it worked.
Yeah, you do get a price. I'll tell you, because you resist it at all, they bring down the price to something they think you can afford. They're probably wrong, but hey, maybe they're not. Oops, I'm in the wrong thing entirely. Over here, thank you. 2,000 Senate.
Ooh.
They're willing to barter if you have items to trade them for.
Oh yeah, if you have anything like worth zenith that you're like never gonna use.
Let's see.
Yeah, because they probably would have said, "Oh yeah, it's like 20,000 Zenith." No, it's not. Come on, let's talk. No, there's nothing in the countless realms that's worth that much, other than maybe the city of Corio itself.
I have. When's the next festival in Corio Stellum?
3 months or so. Less than 3 months, because it's like every season they have one. Next big one, anyway.
Do fireworks normally spike in price around then?
Around festival times, yeah.
I've got 1 crate of Corio Stellum fireworks. Don't ask where I got them. But they are a high grade. Quality approved. This isn't just, sparkler powder in a paper tin. This is the good stuff.
Oh my god, I remember that. I'd totally forgotten.
Yeah. Oh
I do remember it now. You made a whole big thing about buying good fireworks.
They are willing
And we
to.
were all like, man, what are you going to blow up with that?
They are willing to knock down the price to 1,000 Zenith. Because fireworks, you learn very quickly that fireworks, because it's related to fire, is somewhat religious in nature. So they know they could probably sell it off to somebody else or use them for prestige.
Yeah, you know what? Sold. I'm not using the fireworks.
We'll buy some Mascaran fireworks.
Yeah. So you
I like
have.
to
Go
I,
ahead.
I have to say, I'm proud of you that you resisted the urge to blow something up with the fireworks and
Character
provide very
development.
value when you needed it. Yeah,
see. I like
I'm
to
so
imagine.
amazed.
I like to imagine that fireworks are an item that you can kind of buy in like any of the major the major country cities in the world, and each one has like a unique flavored graphic.
Oh yeah, you know that have different colors based on their region and whatnot. Sure.
In the bag, there's a bag of 8 magical stones.
Oh, hello. Tell me about the pretty stones, GM.
Uh, I
Gotta get
will
them all.
examine them on the spot now that you have them be able to fiddle with them. I'll ask for insight as part of it. You might be able to figure out where you're standing. Failing this, you can spend a camp action examining them.
Well,
12 tells you that these seem to be elemental in nature. So yeah, they are linked to magic, but more specifically, it's in the realm of elemental magic. What precisely they do, you're not sure. But you do get the feeling that they can be used. Like if you take one out of a bag and hold a bag in your left hand and have a gem in your right hand, the right hand gem still glows. So they can be separated. They just can't be too far from each other. They are meant to be near each other, and they do glow the brightest as a bag. The problem is you're not sure how to activate these things because you're not a magic user. You're an alchemist, and a magisphere user. So I will say on top of that, with a camp action, you'll know precisely what they can do. But I also say that these also can be used as a catalyst for a ritual involving elementalism. So basically, having the MP cost of a elemental ritual.
There's a thought. Also, there's a thought. If these are, if there are 8 of them, I
Mhm.
assume that they have to do with the elemental, the various elements except for physical. That's my guess, because it's 8 of them and not 9 of them. You might be able to do something funky with your magic cannon.
I shall think about it. But right now, I've got a bunch of shiny rocks, and they are mine. They're very shiny.
Lucius, you walk out to
Yay
the
for
Temple
him.
of the Eternal Flame. It is to remind you, it is a there's the city itself cut up by canals and higher and higher up the hill, and then out on the harbor, all by itself, is this massive crystalline looking structure that seems to freeze frame a massive fireball as it touches into the ocean. You have to take a boat to get over to it, which is immaterial. Well, actually, first you get up to where the boatman is to go over to the temple, and they look over at you, and Brenius and Vibius.
Is he like city guard, or is he of the temple?
He is of the boat service. They're kind of the
Okay.
taxi service for the whole city. They're just the one closest to the temple. But in theory, you can take this person to go wherever in town.
Yeah. We would like to take a boat across to the temple.
Oh. Okay then. You got Zenit?
Yes.
You have more than 2 Zenit? He looks at you with
Yes.
suspicion. You do? Oh. Oh. 'Okay. Oh. Okay. You do? Oh. Okay. You're sure they're Zenit? 'Cause 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 'C
You really look destitute now.
Do I?
A little
Does
bit.
he? Does the flaming laurel say anything or no?
I mean, I still have choreo. I still have what's it? I'm
There's a
still
certain
wearing
there's a certain something about your spirit that has changed. Your fabula in the world has been altered, so how you impress upon people has changed. At least the people in
Oh,
Coristellum.
interesting.
Got temporary amnesia because you look poor.
In this guy's eyes, you look like a priest who people have been very generous to, or a pilgrim. But you know,
Mm.
pilgrims aren't known for being wealthy.
He's
Well,
saying he's gonna look
okay,
poor.
it's 20s in it.
He
Well, actually,
reaches
it's one,
into
two,
it.
three, four. It'd be 40s in it for all three of you.
Fine. He reaches into his cloak and he pulls out 40 Zenith, and he the Zenith that he hands over are in like the big denominations.
So you hand him like 4 golds in it instead of 4 silver ones.
Or yeah, 4 gold Zenith instead of 40 silver ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what? You're like, oh, someone and just takes them, kind of bends them a little bit. Tries not to do it right in your face. He does make an effort to kind of turn a little aside. He doesn't care that much, but you know, he's gonna pretend to be polite. Kind of bends at them, and they don't bend. They bend a tiny bit. Oh, okay then. He puts them in his pouch. Oh, come on then. Get you over to the temple. Don't worry, I'm not going to charge you for the way back. If you're coming straight back to here, Pilgrim's discount. But if you're going somewhere else in the city, I'll have to charge you again.
He nods.
And you're carried over to the Temple of Eternal Flame. You see various priests milling about. Many are praying to various statues and magical runic markings, burning incense and waving censer burners. You get the feeling a variety of rituals are happening at the exact same time. There's multiple rituals happening, probably to do with the fire. You would probably wager, because it wasn't this busy last time you were here. It was a lot quieter.
Yep. Yep. Do I see the head of the temple from last time I was here?
You do. And they actually
do I remember his name?
Head acolyte would be appropriate. If you're talking to them in a formal sense.
Yes. Head acolyte.
Lucius. It's good to see you. Kind of walks over and stares at the laurel on your brow. Looks at Ambrimius and Vibius, who very plainly do not have Aventus colors on and look like sellswords. Kind of walks a little closer to you, so he's not carrying his voice across the temple, which carries sound quite easily. It's a very echoey chamber. Lucius, what's going on? Why are you dressed as a pilgrim?
He lets out a sigh. Because, I suppose, I am one now.
Kind of looks at Ambrimius and Vibius over your shoulders, and they both kind of nod. Looks back at you. So you've forsworn the house name. And seen the great Pyrion.
I have. I am now Lucius. The last pilgrim of Mount Novio, and he says it with his customary flair.
He nods. Folds his hands in front of his, at his waist and kind of... He goes quiet for a minute. And it appears to you he's praying. at you.
Oh, okay. Oh, oh. And you can almost see Lucius's head just getting slightly bigger.
A
Slightly?
a silvery glow emanates from the head acolyte, and it becomes to be lanced with flickers of golden flame, and it begins to surround the two of you. Some people in the middle of the rituals do glance over just to make sure everything's okay, and there are looks of, wow, something important over there is going on, but they then, regrettably, they look back to their own rituals because they can't stop in the middle of it. They really want to see what's going on over there, but they're in the middle of something. Okay, they'll ask the head acolyte later. That looks really cool,
And
whatever
then
it is, though.
Yeah, then they'll hear about it. They'll be like, "Oh, I missed that."
He was right there. Why didn't you say hi to him? What do you mean say hi to him? I was in the middle of a ritual. What do you want me to do? You know how bad it is to stop in the middle of a ritual? And eventually the glow fades between the two of you.
Or three of us? Or oh no, I'm sorry, me and the head acolyte.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he lifts his head. It is so. You have been blessed by the great Pyrion.
Yes.
Well, that would explain why the setting sun burns brighter than ever. Like as well when Corio founded our city. And the stellum descended upon the world and gave us all the light pure of the sorceresses and sorcerers' tyranny.
Oh, the sun's burning brighter. I hadn't noticed.
Should you ever wish to embrace the spiritual or arcanum path before you, you need only look to the west to the setting sun and know that Pyrion looks back at you.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Um. Indeed. However, there is little time. As much as I would wish to look to the west, further trouble brews to the east, the far east.
The Sultanate.
He nods.
Well, how can we be of assistance to the last pilgrim?
Do you have a method of delivering a message with haste and at distance?
To whom?
The duchy.
Not outside of couriers. The fastest message we could probably send would be by airship of Nesia. But we have none of the eternal flame in the spiritual duchy. They practice other means.
I see. In which case, my best bet is to approach the Senate for aid.
Are you sure that's wise? You, as a pilgrim, have lost your patrician title. You are of the clergy now. Of a special rank, and of vaunted esteem, but clergy, all the same.
What other choice do I have?
What do you intend to do, cousin? I mean, if it's merely a message, going to Nizia and sending an airship to fly ahead of you is faster than anything, a bit expensive, but I imagine a former Avantis did not suddenly swear a vow of poverty out of nowhere.
Hmm. That is true. And let me see how much would assuming an airship's traveling at like speed 3.
Speed 4.
Oh, speed 4.
Because they don't,
Oh,
because they,
howdy.
they they ignore all terrain negatives, so they go at that speed 4 is the fastest you can go without teleporting.
Okay. Okay, then that would be that'd be 9 days.
And that'd be 40 times 9 for the message.
Oh, 40 times 9 Zenit.
Yep.
Okay.
That's how much it would
So
cost to send it.
360.
Yeah.
The answer
I
is
mean,
yes. That's a lot of money.
I could do it. The only issue is that let me think. The only issue is it means we'd have to wait around for 9 days.
Well, we'd have to get to Nisa first, and then it's 20 hexes between Nisa.
Oh, that's
So
where
that
the
would be
thing
a
is from.
5-day journey to Nisa, and then 5 days back. But we'd have to get to Nisa first. That'd be the airship where the airship went from, right?
Oh well, at that point, if we can just get on an airship at Nisa, we might as well just take the airship to.
Right. But how would we bring the train? Would there be an airship big enough to bring the train?
You would pay for
Possibly.
the train separately as its own passenger because they have like massive cargo things. So you'd basically buy a cargo stint for just the train,
Got it.
and it'd be 40 per day per person.
40 per day per person. So let me see. Where was I?
Oh, and I'm sorry, I lied to you. I apologize. Your C moves at moves at the speed of 2 hexes, just like your train does. Flying does times 3. That's the part I screwed up.
Okay. So either way, it would take less time to fly to uh to Ascara. Not the main city of Ascara, but this city on the coast.
Travel the rest of the way ourselves.
Yeah, they'd be
Yeah,
like
well
nine,
we'd
it'd be
have the
like 9 days.
yeah, but then we'd have the train and we'd at least be in Ascara and be able to start
Right.
gathering intel and doing stuff, whereas um just getting to Nisa would be an issue.
Yeah, we don't have a ley line there.
Do we? I'll check my tome, if I may, GM.
Give me insight as part of it.
Ley line or rail.
Can I help with my map?
You can.
Okay. I'll use my map of the countless realms.
I'm gonna flash forward that you guys will have checked this in the future.
Yeah.
This is an obvious thing you will do once you get back to the train. Or you could have been thinking about this before you even got to the city. Really, you had a couple days to get here. So flashback even. 8 to 9. 9. 9 on its own is not enough. I can tell you something, but not. Is there any other
Anybody
assists
else
happening?
got a way to help get another +1 out of it?
I may have heard, like, given that I'm a journeying merchant, I can try to assist. Maybe I've heard rumors of
Oh
ley
yeah, and
line.
since this is a flashback thing, I can also do an insight because I know choreo.
Yep.
Right.
There
So
you
that
go.
gives us
That's an
12.
11.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there would be a line from Zona. To the hills. Into the open plains. The problem is, it actually doesn't. There is a one. Actually, no. But for that, I'll say yes. There is one that goes there, and it does go further on than that. Like it does. Actually, I might as well just tell you because I don't mind connecting this up. Boop. 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 That's reason. It's under everything. There you go. So there is a way that crosses here, but the ley line goes underwater.
7, is your
Yeah.
train capable of traveling beneath the waves?
I was just gonna say it's submersible once.
GM, is my train able to go underwater?
That'd be a project to fit it. There are trains that can go underwater. Yours, we established, wasn't necessarily a submersible one. It's one you kind of legitimately salvaged.
It has a plaque that says it's a legitimate salvage and everything.
Doesn't have your name on it, but you know.
What's the name of the city over here that the other ley line links to? On my map.
Well, let me find out for you.
Thank you.
I mean, depending on how bad the project is, we could do it so that we can
I just like to raise a finger and an ear and say, as long as we're talking about a full train project, what kind of project are we looking at to turn your train into an airship?
Ugh.
Like maybe you wouldn't be able to like pull other cars anymore, but maybe the lead car could just disconnect and fly if we have to. Would that be something you could do?
hang on.
Maybe put a big balloon over it?
You're telling 7 to give up basically her house.
Well, I mean, I'm just throwing out an idea. I'm sorry.
No, it's alright. There's no such thing as...
Bad ideas. Yeah, there
Yeah.
are.
Okay.
And Aether is full of them sometimes.
Full of
She's
it
lived in
sometimes, too.
A wonderful little forest glade for her entire life.
That's true.
I don't know. It's boy, we're kind of sitting at 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Right, but the point I'm making though is that a project done to turn the train into a temporary airship would be one that we could always fall back on when we were desperate in the future. Once it was done,
This is
and we wouldn't have to worry about this anymore with the ley lines. Like we'd still be able to travel on them mainly, but then we'd have another option we could pursue after that. And I think we're at the point where we might to consider that. That's all I'm saying.
Would you like an answer to your question?
Yes.
This is the Warden City of Lorethel.
Thank you.
It's one of the. This is one of the cities that was built like this one, like Haydale. It's built as a fortress city, the extension of Koryo's power. This is actually the most recent expansion of Koryo. This village here wasn't a Koryo city. That's a very recent occurrence.
Right, so this is all like frontier land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because basically their real borders is more like this.
Well, let me work this out.
This way.
Let me work this out.
Although the greatest conquest was the northern coasts south of you. That's the big win. Because fighting through mountains is very difficult. And they
Okay.
probably learn very quickly as they get closer and closer to here. They run into, hey, mountains, mountains. Oh, God, what's all the monsters here? You know what? We'll just stop here. We'll go south instead.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
one option I see. Okay, one thing we could do is we could go to the city, then just take a boat, like a regular old boat. And going by that, that would take us 20 days total. Like here to here to the city in Ascara, 20 days.
And it probably wouldn't cost as much as an airship.
Right.
It would cost... Get the book in front of me, that'd be helpful. That'd be wise. There we go. Water transport is 20 zenit per day per person.
Still expensive.
Yeah, that's a good bit less expensive.
And the train would cost its own as well, because you'd have
Yes,
to...
but
Yeah.
We may have to hit an
that's
adventure just to like make some money on the way.
so that's well, hang on. That's 100 zenit total, like per day for the whole group.
How many days?
Oh, actually, wait. Do I also have to include my guys?
Yes, you do.
Oh, I hate that. Okay.
Hey, you're the one that
so
had to have little minions. You could have gotten rid of them. You could have been your own
yeah,
emperor.
yeah. So actually, that's I'm sorry, 140 per day. Um,
Yeah. We're looking at a 20-day journey, so that's a lot.
only some of it is over water.
How many days over water, though?
By the looks of it, that is 11.
So, if my math is right,
11 times 140.
Yeah, 11 days over the water.
540.
And that's assuming we're not like slowed down by something on the way.
I could spot everyone.
Wow.
I'm just saying the
Benefit from
castle's
traveling with a
free.
merchant.
The
Yeah, the
castle
castle-
is free, and it would take about
It
two
is.
and a half weeks to go anywhere in Ascara.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
think maybe we go to the castle instead.
yeah,
We're planning to get back to the castle then. Yeah.
yeah. We thought we could come up with a good way to cut our time down. Oh well.
Everything's just too expensive too.
Yeah, not so much too expensive. It's just it's seeming to be not worth the cost just
The
for
logistics involved is
yeah, it's for the
free
same amount
teleport
of
to
effort.
anywhere we need to be as an offer
Yeah.
is pretty valuable. Turns out.
Yeah, it's for the amount of effort that we put in doing the over water route, we might as well just go back to the duchy.
You see why your
Okay,
train is
so-
such a godsend though, because you guys are basically that's 10 zenit per day if you're traveling on the train commercially.
Right? Right.
Okay, so we're looking back at getting somehow to the airship city and then flying to the Duchy of Wakamal and then from there doing a
Or
teleport,
or just taking the train the whole way.
well, we don't have a ley line that leads to the Grand Duchy. We have to get a message and wait for them to get back to us and then be where they can pick us up.
Or look for one in Haydale and find it manually, because you probably looked at your map. Because ley lines should, I'll say for free, ley lines should, any city you see should be connected to a ley line, because cities are built either at a nexus or along a ley line. The trick is
Yeah,
that when you're
I
reading
think-
maps, it's hard to figure that out because ley lines don't necessarily follow. Some people, like Choreo, Choreo, as big as it is, should be on a nexus. It isn't for some weird reason.
It's
so
a couple off.
Okay,
Zona
well,
is on a nexus, and it's smaller than Choreo is. That shouldn't work. That means Zona, once upon a time, probably was a bigger city, or had a big city there. So weird things
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
why
So
don't we
it's
set the Haydale then? That's a good
Ooh,
idea.
I'm willing to, oh, hang on. My thought is that probably at some point in the history, um, Zona and Choreo were like two separate cities,
Mm-hmm.
and Choreo like took Zona's resources.
Or its political power or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, like all the
some sort of
resources that would go to
competitive-
making Zona a big city instead went to go make Choreo a big city.
Interesting.
Something like that. Anyhow,
Maybe the patricians all had their summer homes in Choreo because the weather was nice.
yep. Yeah.
Let Paris burn, and we'll just move to Versailles.
Thank you.
Or-
Wow, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so taking the train to get there, to get to the castle, will be what's it? That's little under 15. No, 16 days. 16 days travel.
Assuming we're not waylaid, yes.
Yeah, and assuming we find a ley line, but
Right. Well, the ley lines may also take us slightly out of the direction that you pathed, so it may be 17
yeah,
days. But we'll see. Like, that's only
yeah,
another day or two, so. Yeah.
yeah. But if it's
But then from there,
uh,
it's a free teleport, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, and then we could get anywhere in Ascara we want. Oh wait, okay. In which case, with all that being said, back with Lucius in the present. Very well. Then there is one other matter to be cleared up. Um, Before I departed, I had put word in the hands of my father that the Duchy of Wokomal wished to open diplomatic relations with Coriostellum. I would hate to see such goodwill uh, wasted.
What do you have in mind, cousin? The House of
I
Antis is in ruin, currently recovering from the disaster they suffered.
indeed.
Do you plan to appeal to them yourself? On behalf of the clergy?
No, I simply wonder if there is someone else to whom I could speak who might be able to accomplish the task.
Well, really, the only two ways I could see of it is either taking up the observer seat for the clergy in the Senate and appealing to the Senate personally, or you'd have to convince the patriarch Valerian to take up a task that they've never been externally focused. So you'd have to convince a patriarch patrician to reverse his entire position. He shrugs. Other than him, you would be going around gathering votes manually, senator by senator, to get them to take your cause on your behalf. But representing as clergy yourself, or getting Valerian on board, would have it happen within the next year or two, if not sooner. But the other way you're looking at, you might as well be running for consulship at that point, if you're gonna go to the extreme of whipping up votes.
I see.
I suppose it depends if our cousin up in Usta is still alive. You may be able to convince her to take up the mantle of Avantis.
Well, she is.
Oh,
Last I checked.
good news, finally.
When I saw her, her goals were running opposite to that of my brother, and so we were allied in cause.
How the fire burns in ways we do not yet know.
Very well. In which case, I may simply ask that either you reach out to my cousin or wait for word from her to come here and inform her of uh, the nature of things within the duchy.
I could certainly hold a message for you or send one for you, but remember, cousin, I'm a head acolyte now.
Uh,
I am out of
of
the
course,
normal process of politic and house decorum.
of of course. However, there is nothing to stop you from holding a missive for one of your family, given to you by a wandering pilgrim.
Give me willpower as part of it.
Uh-huh. 14.
I will send word. Asta is a city of pilgrims, after all, and we'll see what she will do. I can't really speak further on that. Perhaps she'll take it up, or perhaps she'll take this as an opportunity to reform, or perhaps she'll be battling out with her rivals for control of the Aventus name.
Very well. We shall. That is the best I can hope for then, and we shall have to hope that matters shake out for the best.
May your fire burn in the way you intend. May it burn bright for as long as you need.
Indeed. And while fire may burn when it sets in the west, it would appear that my fire must burn where it shall rise.
He nods and withdraws to attend to the rituals of helping the city of Coriostellum.
Mhm. And with that, Lucius will leave, and with his actually, one thing he would request before we depart,
Okay.
um, for his men, might we pick up some uh, not vestments, but icons of Pyrian, uh, or of the eternal flame with which to, something fitting for uh followers of the last pilgrim.
Um, for appropriate vestments as like temple guardians, it would be 200 zenith for each of them. If you just want like an emblem or a tabard, that would be 100 for each of them.
Uh, I'll go with the full. I'll go with the full temple guard. I have the zenith for that. So that's 400 total.
Yep.
Cool.
As now Brinius or Vibius are dressed in the panoply of temple guardians, which they're not. Normally, there's like a vote among the acolytes about who gets hired and stuff, but as a pilgrim, you can assign people to your guard. So
Right.
you're assigning them. Normally, people would donate for a pilgrim to have better guards. You just paid for it yourself. There's no rule against that. It's just not normally what happens. But, you're the last pilgrim, so perhaps the future of Coriostellum is going to be very different.
Yep. Cool. Cool. All right. Cool. I just wanted to. I wanted to buy the skin for them.
Okay.
So
when you get back to the rest of the group, do you share with everybody what happened?
Yeah, more or less. Basically, letting you know. I've set the wheels in motion best I can. Whether or not it shakes out for,
Right.
uh, further diplomatic relations, well, he looks to the burning, smoldering pile that is the Avantis estate.
Yeah. I
The Republic is in turmoil.
right.
I think we've done the best we can.
Well, I'm gonna wince as you look in that direction and say, well, I hesitate to bring it up, but it seems to me that if there's ever an opportunity for your father to reconsider his political position, now might be the one time when he's at his weakest. Maybe this is your opportunity to actually convince him to look outward and create an alliance with the Grand Duchy of Guacamal, and that could be a way for the Avantis family to be refounded, even if you yourself will no longer be politically a part of it. As a parting gift to your father, something you could do for the family as you leave.
You may be right, if anything remains of them.
But if you're going to do it, this would be your opportunity. Right.
Indeed.
Now.
Indeed, you are most correct. I suppose I have avoided it long enough.
I'm just going to put a hand, like reach way up and put a hand on your shoulder that I can barely get to, and
Mhm.
say, the ways of your people are very strange to me, but I can see that they matter quite a bit to you. And while I know that your family relationships appear to be quite strained, there has to have been some strong, it just seems obvious to me that at one point you were all much more loving with one another, I suppose would be the word. Maybe there's still some way you can get back to that now that the political divides, that things that prevent you from being close to one another can be set aside. Maybe there's still a way for you to get back to that. I don't know, but
Perhaps.
I hate to see you in such pain, Lucius. And I know it bothers you. I can see it. It's in your bearing. You know not, but we know that your family troubles you. We're all here for you.
And he nods. Very well. Let's see if anything can rise from these ashes.
I'll be here to help any way I can. And then I will, retreat to stand among the others.
So do you all ascend the Palatine Hill to the Avantis estate, such as it is?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. The one place you were told not to go.
Uh-huh.
But I kind of feel like it's important for your character.
Gotta get in one last knife twist before we leave this plot behind.
Sure, why not?
Hee.
You actually, I made some of these people disappear. I didn't need to yet because different cards will be here. As you ascend the hill, you see there are various other estates here on the hill for the various patrician families, new and old, and you see the grandeur of everyone else's mansions, and then you see a smoking, blackened ruin with specters roaming, and the grass blackened and grayed, the trees twisted and crisped, the buildings looking as if submerged underwater for centuries. And it strikes all of you, this looks like the various ruined cities you've seen in the Darklands.
Yeah, I'm gonna shed a tear for all the servants and cooks and other innocent people who were probably caught up in that, because I know they didn't all get out alive.
There are some city guard. Actually, you see it's centurions of House Valerian who are guarding the house. Which, no roll, Lucius. That makes perfect sense. They're the most powerful house other than yours, other than the Avantis house. They're probably the only one who could probably guard an estate this big.
Mm-hmm.
Although you see there's other people of the various other houses milling around the perimeter, and you see some priests milling around the grounds. You see there's smoldering purple fires that flare up every so often. Someone turns and like starts throwing water on it to smash it out, and then every so often you see a little battle go on of them fighting some specter, trying to keep it from getting out of the grounds. It's because of how many guards there are and how well equipped they are, and the fact that almost everyone here is an elite. There are battles that happen, and they pretty much end almost immediately. These are the guards. These are the elite centurions of Coriostellum of Senate houses. They can take on a few ghosts, but it basically does mean they have to sit here and guard the place constantly to make sure it doesn't leave. And it almost looks like the light of the sun, when it beats down here, dims as if it's going through overcast clouds. Like, it's very obvious this whole ground is darkened, as if radiant light doesn't shine here as well as it should.
I'll lean over to you and say, as the last pilgrim, do you think there's something you can do to purify this land?
I
Can you call on Tyrion to purify it with holy fire?
I don't know. Do I feel like that's something within my power?
What?
Ominous.
If you sacrificed your laurel, maybe.
Mm.
Otherwise, you need magical talent. You need to know how to commit rituals on your own.
Yeah, no.
Am I accompanying folks, or are we still separated?
No,
We're all
we're
together.
back together.
Would spiritism be the correct ritual to enact here?
That'd be one way to do it.
I also have Kimmerist version, ritual Kimmerism, and I also have what was the other? No, that's the only one. I have ritual Kimmerism. If that could help.
Chimerism wouldn't do it. No, it would have to be.
Okay, no
it would have to be arcanism, entropism, spiritualism. Elementalism and chimerism wouldn't really work here. Ritualism on its own could work, but it'd be harder because ritualism is kind of the generic. Any caster, if you can do ritual magic, you can do ritualism. That's the generic seeing magic and manipulating magic. But
Right. So I have that anyway, but
yeah.
Okay. I can help with that at least.
Yeah.
So
It's the white label brand. Got it.
Yeah.
Generic.
So yeah, I can try to cast a spiritism ritual.
As you think about how hard it'd be, because you would know how hard it is before you tried. It would cost. $120 MP with a difficulty level of 13.
Ooh.
And then we could lower that mind point cost by finding appropriate things to sacrifice during the ritual.
Yeah, some sort
Is
of
that right?
catalyst or sacrifice you can use, yeah.
Right.
Oof.
Or
It's
being
lot
at
of mine.
or using a ley line nexus. That's another way that you can do it. But it uses up it makes that ley line nexus. You only get to do that once with a nexus for a while. Well, I will say if you use a nexus as a catalyst and fail, it can get really bad really fast because you become a lighthouse for every spirit in the entire continent.
Ah,
I don't really want to do that.
good. Leave Corio worse than we find it.
Mm.
You thought
If
one
we
house on
were-
fire was bad. How about all the houses being on fire?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe we should just go back to talking to your dad.
Yep.
But I mean,
What-
it doesn't hurt to look at it and contemplate maybe something to do to help. That's all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's fine.
What kind of sacrifice material would we be talking about here?
Artifacts are usually a good start. almost any artifact could be used. Spiritualism related, it would have to be something from a temple or a place that entombs the dead or honors the dead. Or it'd have to be an artifact found near the Sea of Souls, because it has a tight link to the Sea of Souls.
Don't we have artifacts from the Sea of Souls?
Lucius, you had a spear from there once upon a time.
It got wrecked. It was the cost of losing a fight at one point.
You instead of paying to have it repaired or spending a camp action to repair it, you could sacrifice it, because it is an artifact from the Sea of. It's not an artifact; it's a magic item from the Sea of Souls.
And how would that affect the
It halves the MP cost.
So instead of it being
130, it'd be 65.
120, it'd be 60.
60?
Okay. I
I could make that work
Okay.
if you're open to it, Lucius.
I'm open to that.
I'm open to helping as well, yes.
Yes, I will not turn down assistance with this roll.
Before you can even, you need to be on the grounds to cast the ritual. So, see some guards in the way, who are watching you guys gather and mutter among yourselves, and they don't stop you because the road's for anybody, but they are wondering why a bunch of people are gathered in the road. But whatever.
Well, if we do this, we could certainly garner a lot of goodwill, but if we screw it up,
Should be more. Yes, yes.
could we maybe talk to your dad and see how that goes first, and then come back to do the ritual?
Sure. I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, there's not a pressing rush to do this instant, is there? I mean, it's not going anywhere.
Certainly not. Lucius is gonna look around and see if he can't spot anyone of the house.
From where you're standing, you don't.
In which case he'll approach the guards. Pardon. Do you know where I may find the head of House Avantis?
And who might you be, citizen? He looks at your people behind you and then nods, like, oh, a slight apology. He nods and says, "Pilgrim."
I am the last pilgrim of Mount Novio, and one who knows this house very well, for I once walked its halls.
Have you come to perform the last rites for Volicius Avantis? And Brinius and Vibius stare at you, because I know who that is.
I have.
Willpower as part of it, +1.
Yeah, twisting that knife.
Guard is worried. It looks like it's not so much the guard keeping you up because it's against the rules. It's more of he's worried for your safety. I'm not sure I want to let you in, but you are doing something important. Yeah, 14 will do it. I'm not going to stand in the way of a pilgrim on a holy quest, so you may pass. Beware the creatures. Let our guards handle it. Do not engage.
What kind of creatures?
Friend of yours, pilgrim?
Yes.
And you are Miss
More Duncan.
Duncan. Okay. These would be creatures of darkness and demony. Some elementals in there as well.
I'm hiding at the back of the group behind everybody, keeping my ears down.
Our guards are equipped in fighting them, but do not engage if you are following the pilgrim here.
I nod.
A creature is hiding behind you, pilgrim. Is she with you?
Yes, she is.
I'll poke my nose out and stand out from behind him, showing that I'm just wearing a little maid costume.
There's a look of concern and a look of
Bless.
mild judgment at Lucius, but you know what? He's gonna let
you're
it
one of them
go.
furries,
He's not
okay.
gonna ask him any questions.
I have a weird retinue.
Guilty as charged.
And you over there, miss, with the floating automata?
Yes, they were all with me.
Is that beggar across the street with you as well?
No.
You look behind you, there is no beggar. You're in the patrician area. There would be no beggars up here.
No, he got you good.
Haha, made you look.
He nods. I am very
that's
serious.
pretty funny.
Do not engage anything. He steps out of the way, looking very concerned, but you get the feeling the Laurel is, and the reason you're saying you're here is why he's going to get out of your way. The average person, you know, as a person from Koryo, guards wouldn't let someone into a dangerous place like this for citizen safety. Definitely not foreigners. Because the last thing they need is some foreigner casting some ritual and making everything worse.
Yup.
Big sweat drop. Big anime sweat drop.
So you enter the grounds.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you've entered a dungeon. You feel like you're in danger. Don't worry, the danger level has been decreased because there's a ton of guards here trying to keep the dangers from attacking you. So I do have to do a travel roll as you move through the grounds. Bear with
So-
me.
Was he saying that your father is dead?
My brother, I think.
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Travel rolls. Sorceress isn't here anymore. There are guards here, and one of you makes things safer than normal. Oh. Hey, discovery!
Discovery.
Man.
We're going to discover something on your old stomping grounds.
Mm.
As you enter the grounds and walk along, you see the various guards are doing a very good job of keeping people away from you. And it doesn't look like it's pushing them all that hard. They seem to have had a good run of fighting these things. They're pretty used to fighting these creatures by now. And Lucius, you feel something. You feel yourself step on something in the grass, and it feels like it would crunch whatever it was, but it doesn't give at all, and you nearly fall over because whatever it is super strong and withstands you putting your full weight down on it.
No, He steps back, and he and he bends over. What is it?
See, whatever it is buried in ash.
Pushes some of the ash to the side, tries to dig out whatever it is.
And there within, buried beneath the ash, is a perfectly round shield made of finely worked brass, bracketed with iron across its face, with a stylized magical flame, eternal flame in the center, and the emblem of House Avantis on in four cardinal directions. And you recognize this is from the treasury room. And it occurs to you the place you're walking through that's full of ash and all burned down and stuff, you're walking through what the treasury was. And what you've stepped upon is the Avantis Family Parry Shield. It's a shield that gives +2 defense, +2 magic defense, and if you have the counterattack skill, it also triggers when the enemy's accuracy check is an odd number.
That would
Wow.
be very. Oh, oof.
This would be very good for me. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yoink.
Normally a guard would stop some random pilgrim from stealing from the estate, but they're really busy, so they don't notice you taking it. They probably won't even realize you're leaving with it, really, because again, there's 1,000,001 things. You are not the deadly thing in the area.
Yep.
You may want to put that in more Duncan's bag until we get out of here,
Yep.
just in case.
More Duncan, if you would.
Sure.
Thank you.
Give you a yoink wink.
So, do we get the impression that doing this ritual is something we have to be in a specific place to do?
As long as you're on the grounds, that should do it.
Weren't we going to find your dad first, though?
Or brother? Well, if we cleanse this place, we can do the rites.
I suggest we let the guards know what we're planning so we don't alarm them at least.
True.
Quite. As Lucius will approach one of the guards.
You eventually find one that isn't fighting something. Yes?
Yeah.
What?
We plan to enact a ritual that should hopefully bring some peace to this place.
Ritual? What kind of ritual?
He looks to more Duncan's Lady Duncan.
It should help the spirits here to rest.
Rah! A bunch of fighting happening behind him. Looks over his shoulder. Waits a beat to see if they need to join the initiative. And someone casts a spell and it blows up and nods with approval. Turns back to look at you. You think this will work?
I do.
Willpower's part of it,
And-
because this person isn't terribly keen on making their life any harder, because everyone knows rituals that go bad big time.
Yep.
That's fair.
I'll give +1 to the roll, because you're in the company of a pilgrim.
Yep.
Hooray.
And I will assist.
Yeah, I think we all try to help persuade.
Yeah, I can help.
And you, though?
And it won't get any better than that 10, because we wouldn't be able to get to the next.
Well, we got to an 11 now,
Uh,
so
Can I spend a Fabula to re-roll based on my origin? My homeland has a lot of rogue, angry spirits, let's say.
Oh,
You-
hang on, you beat it.
You beat it.
Oh,
You're good.
never mind.
I was like, wait, I should
Good,
probably
we wanna
check
save
before I
that.
roll.
We want to save that Fabula for the ritual.
right.
Fair.
You explain as best you can to the captain, and the captain just kind of. All right. Well, there's two ways we can do this. Then we can we'll keep them. No, I know exactly what we need to do. We'll busy all the monsters and keep them away from the ritual site, so it isn't made any harder than it is. But be very careful. The last thing I want is for skeletons to start rising from the dirt.
I assure you, that's also the last thing I want.
And a
Yeah,
lot
I don't
of,
want it to look like home.
yeah. A lot of guards start. There's some like signal whistles that start going off, and calls as various, because you gave warning to the guards. A lot of them appear to be ready in case things go bad. So if you do get into a fight, these are allies who will jump on your side to defend you.
Yay.
As they're
Nice change of pace.
Because they're like, oh, you know what? Let's keep the ritual casters from being attacked. What if something attacks them? Then don't let them die. Let's get them out of here. Oops, wrong one. This one. So, more Duncan, what does your ritual look like?
Uh, well, for one, I draw some what's the word? I draw some circles, like magic circles on the ground, and use salt to cleanse the area. And then essentially make an offering to the spirits in the area, asking them to release their anger and move on to the next realm, so to speak, but to the Sea of Souls.
Oh, and we're sacrificing that spear too, right?
Yes.
Because normally your ritual would be sacrificing like tobacco and small bits of food and nuts, you know, things like that. But a magical item, you'd go all that plus this.
Yeah, basically.
Because you know the
Sweetens
spirits
the deal.
will. Who is helping with the ritual, or who's staying with the guards if the ritual goes bad?
I will be standing by the ritual.
Thank you.
What dice are the ritual? Like, what would we be rolling?
Insight will.
Insight will.
Okay. Yeah, I will help because I have ritualism. I'm definitely going to help.
And you can't, if you don't have ritualism, you can't help, right?
You still can. You just can't lead it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because it amounts to either you're doing you're helping with the ritual magically, or the ritual leader saying, "Hand me this, hand me that, chant these words."
Yep.
Zevin Demeril, are you participating in the ritual, or are you standing with the guards in case it goes bad?
I can't do magic, but if I can participate, then sure.
Okay.
Matters Delicious.
Insight, willpower. Difficulty level 13.
Oh no.
Ugh.
Well, that's
Yeah,
that's-
time for that reroll right away.
well, that's just 7. Oh,
Yeah.
I will. My Fabula.
Say that again. I think I sparked
No
out of
problem.
existence for a second.
I'm spending a Fabula to my origin because my land has it's a
Did you throw it down?
all manner of ghosts and hostile fey spirits and creatures and such. I threw one down on the map already.
Where though? I'm all the way at the top of the map.
Down at the border. Can I bring this back into my hand?
I got it. Yoink.
Thank you.
Dropped it on the dimension. I was zoomed in. I'm zoomed in at the top, so I just saw your number click down. I was like, oh no, where'd it go?
There we go. That's better.
we needed a 13 though.
I gave help.
Ah, then that's a
Hooray.
13
So we got a 13.
And
on
yes,
the
so
button.
I will pay the 50 or the 60 MP on my own because I
Well, I
have
think you
enough.
have to. Yeah, you're not allowed. We're not allowed to help you with that part. I wish we could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cataclysm clock goes down. You only just beat it, so it goes down by 1 wedge. As a
Hooray.
wound in the world that drills all the way to the Sea of Souls is sealed up and purified by the ritual led by More Duncan. The various flames, purple flames, start changing into a silvery light, lanced with gold, and start petering away. In their light, in the brief time that they're here, all the spirits and ghosts flare out of existence, and for a brief second you see various spirits drift down through the planet and descend to the Sea of Souls from whence they came. The skies, the overcast curse that blanketed the realm, this particular ground, lifts. And in the light, you can see that there are... all the guards kind of look around and watch and wonder as they see this... what to them was it might as well have been an environmental disaster. Like, there's not... it's a force of nature. All they could do is deal with the aftermath. And in a single ritual, they're able to watch as the grounds simply become a ruin, a mere simple ruin. You can feel the danger of the dungeon fade away as the curse of the sorceress is lifted from the grounds. The various guards start cheering and saying, "Long live the Republic, long live Coristellum." The person who saw you actually, the person who actually saw you do the ritual, is the only one who isn't chanting. They simply just walk over and they salute in your guys' direction. They're the only one who's giving credit to you guys in particular, because he knows this is because of... this wasn't Coristellum, this wasn't the Republic, this was a group of heroes who came here to purify the grounds. And then when that person does it, their unit starts coming over to stand in procession. And they start chanting a old prayer. Lucius, you recognize it's an old Choreo word for savior. It's the same word that was used for the first priests that came into the ruin of Coristellum after the Sorcerer War, to go around healing people and curing diseases and stuff like that. As there are imperators who save the land, is saviors who save the wounded and sick.
I go to offer More Duncan a high five for a
I
ritual
will.
well cast.
Accept it. As I kind of find something to lean on, as I am probably well and truly exhausted at this point.
As Aether backs off, Lucius just approaches More Duncan and then just goes in for a hug. Thank you.
I'll give him a hug.
Would you like an energy potion? I could give you one. Well, I mean, that's what they're for.
It's true.
I
Man.
nothing a nap won't fix.
All right, but I mean, I can just replenish, the inventory points while we're here in the city anyway. So I will give you a what is it? The one that recovers 50 mind points.
The elixir.
Yeah, give you an elixir. Yeah.
Yeah.
More Duncan,
will.
you may add to your identity savior.
Nice.
Okay.
Actually, to be more accurate, spirit savior.
But to that, Lucius is gonna go and see if he can't find his brother.
Midst the celebrations, Lucius goes off. and you find your elder father sitting at the bedside of Elysius, who is lying on his sickbed with a couple of priests beside him. Elysius Avantis kind of he normally would stand upright and challenge your very presence, and you could almost, and to remind you, the last time you met him, you could feel the Ultima of his presence just press against you. There's that aura of power that comes off him. You don't feel it now. You don't feel a man on ambition or conquest. It's a father who is worried for his son. He does look over at you and notices you're there, and then turns to look back at Elysius.
Father.
I'm told you're a pilgrim now.
I am.
What does a pilgrim of the Holy Flame require of the House of Vantis?
I simply came to apologize. I apologize that I'm not the son that the House of Vantis required, but I think I may be the son that this world needs.
You hear Volusius kind of murmur, and your father kind of just looks startled that he's awaking. And you can see a faint silvery golden glow emanate from Volusius briefly, and you can see his dark illness lift away from him. And his eyes kind of flitter open. Water. Oh, water! Give him water! And one of the priests, oh, yeah, sorry. Starts giving him water. Volusius just kind of takes a sip, and the guy tries to help him drink more, and he's like, ugh, ugh, as he's practically drowning. He's like, stop. I got enough. Lucius, you're there, right?
I am, brother.
What are you whining about this time?
I had heard that you were on your deathbed, and that I was to give you your last rites.
Volusius Avantis falls on nothing but the battlefield. I'm fine. But more water? No. Just a sip. A sip of water. Thank you. Dribbles a bit into his mouth. Volusius glares at the poor priest, who's trying his best. There's the same level of, you feel the Ultima that was pouring off of Volusius is gone as well. You're feeling the brother who was trying to achieve what you weren't trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you never were this entire time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem to mind. Like, he looks over at you. He just sees a brother. He doesn't even see the laurel. He doesn't even pay it any mind.
Yes.
Well, he looks at it like, what's that thing in your hair? And then doesn't care and looks back in your eyes.
The grounds have been cleansed.
Oh? Who managed that minor miracle?
That would be Lady Morduncan. She truly is something else, isn't she?
What kind of bill do we owe the merchant?
Oh, nothing at all. I just ask that you continue to live your lives as best you can. Having hopefully learned a thing or two from what has transpired, and, well, I suppose if I must ask a favor, and he looks to Alypius, do follow up on that note from the duchy.
Your father looks like he's gonna blow up at you. Like, you can already hear the "Do you not see the building around me in ruins?" speech. But Valesius just kind of reaches out to him, kind of pats him on his wrist that's near him. He goes, "I'll do it, Dad. Don't worry about it. You can deal with the gardening." Your dad gives him a glare, like, gardening. And then Valesius just waves like, "I'm on my deathbed. Oh no."
Oh no, I'm dying. I'm fading away. And Lucius just says, "You may find that, what House of Antis needs to find its way again are some good friends."
More pieces on the lance board always prove useful, even if they're not the same color of pieces.
Mm-hmm. I may not be a true son of Avantis, but I still know how the games are played here in Corio.
Brother, beggars know how the game is played if they've been here long enough.
Beggars, pilgrims, what's the difference? Now,
One makes more money than the other.
Well,
The priests look a little mortified. That's kind of
yes.
a not respectful thing to say, but whatever. They're in
Yes.
an Avantis house.
Yes.
They're not going to say stuff.
Well, I believe I must be on my way. A pilgrim can't stay in one place too much. However, I do hope that when I return here one day, the Avantis estates will be just as vibrant as I remember them in my childhood.
Remember one thing, Lucius. When you get older, everything becomes a lot smaller.
That's true. But to that end, I must take my leave. If you can take solace in one thing, I intend to chase that witch to the ends of the earth. And that is where she has fled, to the east.
Beware her sorcery and rituals, Lucius, says your father. I have faced
We do.
I have faced demons that could challenge an entire century. And she reminds me of the legends of the Sorcerer Kings. If
Indeed,
Sisho
I-
chose, all of Coriomave instead of Flame.
Indeed. I once stood against her and narrowly walked away with my life.
To make sure to walk away again. Victory goes to the one living, not the one dead. Which is not which I'll highlight is not exactly a popular saying, but it's an Avantis saying.
Yeah. Yeah, uh-huh. Well then, father, brother. Thank you for everything.
He's frozen. 1 second. The scene's too epic. OBS can't handle it.
And yes, and as Lucius is about to leave the door, he turns back to Volusius and says, "Oh, and Volusius, might I suggest that when it comes time to seek a bride, perhaps seek someone in your own league." And he leaves.
Brat, he mutters after you leave. So, You rejoin together, folks, and you are standing amidst the ruins of the Avantis estate, as various guards are now basically just doing basic ruin upkeep. And they stop
I see 'em
praising you
come out of
because,
the-
well, they have jobs to
Yes.
do and things to do.
Yes. Lucius comes out and he has a smile upon his face.
Yeah, when I see you come out of the chambers and your spirits are lifted, I will approach you carefully and say, so things went well?
Indeed.
I'm so glad that this worked out then.
Yes,
I admit some trepidation when I suggested it, but now that I see the result, I couldn't be more glad that we came here and brought you home one last time.
Yes, I delivered him his rights. They were not his last rites.
Good.
That's a relief.
Well, they
And
were his first rights? And Brinius mutters, and then Vivius gives him a look like, do you not know what he's talking about?
you know, there are more rights than first and last rights.
Oh. It's never much for religion.
Neither was I, but it's growing on me.
Like a weed.
Like a fungus.
Yes!
Well,
Anyhow,
we have this business settled and we have a plan.
indeed. And my
Mhm.
father will continue to take up the cause of the duchy. Well, more likely than not, my brother shall. Once he's well enough to walk. But that being said, it would appear that we have done all we can here. I would suggest that we make with haste back to the duchy.
I certainly agree there.
No offense, Lucius, but if I never see Coriostellum again, it would be too soon.
Ah.
Hmm.
Womp
No.
womp.
Yeah, give you like a smack on the back with an ear as we turn around to leave.
Mhm.
As you move to leave the grounds, someone runs up to you with a message for Lucius. Lucius basically sent a guy along that leaves you a letter saying that the one thing he learned in fighting the sorceress is that she in the initial fight, she had no particular vulnerabilities or immunities. But every so often, she would spend time retuning her magic. It was almost like someone changing their fighting stance, but magically. He doesn't understand how that works, but he figures you'll understand it when she does it. If she does that, watch for her vulnerabilities. When she changes to different immunities, she is exposing something else. He just ran out of time when he was fighting her. He couldn't figure out which one it was before. It was too late because, there's only so much he could do against her. But he figured he'd let you know before he left.
We're
Cool,
gonna
we
need
found
to
out her
be
mechanic.
periodic studying, yeah. Like every time she changes, we'll need to study again.
Yeah.
Got it. Yep.
Neat. That's neat. That's good to know.
So, I imagine you all return back to the train.
Yes.
I do replenish the inventory points that I spent on giving more Duncan that mind potion. If that's all right.
Yeah, you're in a town. You could easily grab at a shop near as you're walking by.
Okay. I have like 10 zenit left, but as we're boarding the train, I'll say, well, I've got my money and I've got all the materials together. How long will it take to do the project to work on my weapon?
Well, let's figure that out, shall we?
The idea is to turn it into a one-handed weapon, mainly, so that I can use it with a shield.
Yeah. Now, I forget, is working on a project something you can only do in camp action, or is that something that you can... Oh.
Each time we take a camp action, time will pass on the project, right?
Yeah, the only issue is that, stopping for camp advances the world clocks.
Yep.
Sorry. I mean, I still want to get it started at some point. That's all
Oh.
I'm saying. It doesn't
Well,
have to be now, but the
that
sooner
re-
the better for me.
That reminds me, I almost forgot. All the world clocks supposed to have advanced earlier. Oops. Because you guys took
Oh,
a tab
yeah.
action earlier today.
We took a rest, right?
So that's down
Yeah.
to 2. That goes back up to nope. That goes up to 3. Tyrion Sigith increases to 6. 6, I said.
We're gonna need to start rolling some doubles to turn back some of these world clocks.
The Golden Conet
Yeah,
advances to 7,
Yeah.
as
some of them
does
get
the
pretty far.
Ascara Sultanate.
Ooh, yeah, we should probably turn back the Ascara clock first, because that's
The Golden Connate's at 7 as well. We need to hit a few of them.
yep.
Guess how much do you need for this? Oh, index.
At least when you do it, you get to like advance it or pull it back another slot, right? If you spend some mind points.
No, my thing only matters when my thing only kicks in if I'm using like persuasion or
Oh, okay.
it's like it's a purely social clock thing.
Gotcha.
Your Tinkerers are
Okay.
the ones that can make projects go faster if they have the ability. How much did this cost again?
4,000's in it.
So you need to make...
Yep. All materials are required, plus the crystal essence of Novio needs to be used. Alter the staff into something I can use one-handed as opposed to two.
Was that the only thing? Was just making it one-handed? I thought it was something else too.
Yeah, ideally it would be something that would work with my my unarmed martial art, as opposed to being a separate weapon roll, because then I'd be able to use my existing combat skill with it, or at least change the stats that it uses. Because right now it uses like
That
You
was
know,
the second
Dex
thing. I knew there was
willpower,
2 things.
and
I'm
I'm-
like, for 4,000,
I'm an
feels like a lot.
insight-focused character, right? So
Yeah. So yeah,
I'd
you're.
rather use
So the 2 things are turning it into a one-handed weapon and changing its attack stats to something you can use better. Make it less a magical staff and more a staff you're actually thrusting and swinging around with. The magic helping you move it, but it's more
Correct.
trusting your actual dexterity and stuff to fight with it, or might, I should say.
right.
Right. So there are 2 ways. Sorry, I'm wrong. There are 2 ways to do projects. You need to find a tinkerer to help you do it, which you know 2. So that's the easy part. We know what we're changing it to. I know how much I charged you for it. If you wanted a 25% discount, we could introduce a flaw, but I imagine you didn't want to make it more flawed than it already was, because it already has a pretty big downside to it when you use it.
Yeah, I don't want to give it any more flaws. If I can help it.
So you need... You can either spend a day... Each day you sit with it, if you spend a day saying, I'm working on this, you can add... By base book, you can add 1 progress to a project, and plus 1 extra progress for every character who is a Tinkerer class who helped. In a
Okay,
camp
so we can
action,
get, like-
it goes a bit faster because you can camp and move. I believe it's 2 normally. I have to double check.
You're
Can't-
saying we can get 3 per day even if we don't camp, just while we travel.
No. You. The only thing you're doing is project.
Oh, I
You're
see.
not traveling, not doing anything. You're just sitting there
Give up
working on
travel time to do that. Okay.
it.
Yeah, if we were like
And how much progress would we need to complete it? That's the part I didn't get.
I'm getting to that in a moment. Just checking on
Okay, sorry.
the. Yeah, so Midnight Oil lets you get 2 points of progress instead of just 1. Plus whatever Tinkerers can do on top of that if they have the special ability for it.
Wow.
And you need progress equal to, for every 100 zeniths, you need 40 progress.
Okay, so we need 40 progress to complete it, and we can do 3 to 5 per time that we focus on it. Was that right? Like if I have a tinkerer each helping, and they both have midnight oil, then they're adding 2 points each.
Well, for as a camp action, for each person who's burning the midnight oil, that's 2 progress.
Got it.
So you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you're doing a camp action.
Oh, I see.
That's why it's kind of better to do camp actions rather than and progress rather than base, because base is you do 3 and that's it.
Right.
It'd be 3 for each day it goes by,
And
whereas
the
camp actions
necessarily-
go way faster. Yeah.
Right, but they also wouldn't necessarily slow us down. We just have to do it as camping. Like we'd have to take a camp action, but we still travel that day, correct?
Yes, that's how I would rule it. Because you would say, because the assumption is each day you travel, you are resting, but you can't do other stuff. If you do a camp action, then you're like, well, at the end of this day, we're getting a full camp set up. We're getting nice bedrolls, the big tent, the train's getting all set up. We're getting work tables out, and that means you can do other stuff. Though I will warn that camp actions, or just spending days, if you just sit still for a day, either way, you'd be advancing clocks, because that's the party sitting still for a long time. Which time will pass, and things in the countless realms will progress.
Okay, so
Because bad guys are doing stuff while you're doing good things.
This will take a while no matter what then. Okay, well, I guess whenever the opportunity comes up, whenever we have to take camp actions, if anyone's willing to help me, I'd appreciate it. Mark our progress as we go on my sheet. Is the weapon non-functional during this process?
Thankfully,
or does it stay
no.
normal until we're done?
It stays normal till you're done.
Okay.
I'm willing to do that. I see no reason to penalize you. Because it's already an expensive thing to make you do anyway, so.
Right. All right. Well, next time we take a camp action, I'll ask someone to help me burn midnight oil.
Yeah, mark that it's 40 progress. Like, mark that on the sheet somewhere so you know how much you've gotten done so far.
Keep it in my notes right now.
All right. So, where are you going, team?
We're heading north by the sounds of it. I unless anyone else has words to the contrary.
No, I think that sounds right.
Zevin, more?
Yeah, I thought we were
Agreed.
going to the castle.
All right.
Going to
Onward.
Headale or Haydale or however you pronounce that.
Ah.
It looks like head of ale to me. I bet they have good taverns there.
Oh man. Discovery at the Nexus.
Yep.
Interesting.
You know what? As you arrive at as you start rolling up on the Nexus and getting ready to rest for the night. Not a full camp, you're just kind of getting settled in and, let's pull down the shades and get our rest. I think, if I remember correctly, Zevin can kind of set the train to kind of constantly be moving during the night. A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her version of the autopilot is basically putting a weight on the lever that keeps it moving forward.
As people are resting, Zevin, during the drive, you're getting ready to set up your automated system to kind of drive without you. And do you fall asleep in your seat, or do you have like a little bed near the controls you go to lie down in?
She sleeps in. Oh, sorry, that's my mic. My mic. It's trapped under my wheel. There we go.
Oh, good. That's. I thought that was me. I was like, oh no.
No, my roller chair sometimes rolls over the mic cable
Oh no.
and disconnects it. Anyways, yeah, she'll just sleep in her seat. It's not gonna be comfy.
You see someone run up alongside your train and grab onto the back rail.
Is that so?
What? We got someone jumping on? I guess it had to happen sooner or later.
That's a tone of voice that Sounds like somebody sitting in a rocking chair on a porch with a shotgun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seven's gonna sound the whistle to wake everyone up.
Word! Yes, the train. Oh god, the train whistle is not quiet. You're all in the same car. The whistle's like not that far from you. Holy crap, that's loud. That's meant to be heard from like for miles.
I leap out of bed and fall on the floor before I'm even fully awake.
Lucius sits up. He has one of those like sleep masks on.
Yeah, I got a better one. You know how I said I had like appropriated a little overhead compartment that you would normally put luggage in?
Mm-hmm.
Like you hear the sound of Aether shooting up like as if she were like rising, but she bumps her head into the ceiling real hard. Thunk,
Ooh.
when she wakes up,
Oh,
with a jerk.
you're not in
And then
danger. You're not in
falls out of the
danger.
compartment.
You hear a voice from the back of the train as everyone's starting to get out into the main compartment. Hold on. Don't attack. I'm friendly.
Lead with that next time.
Well, I didn't know this train had a whistle. Sorry. As you see the dumb Jessica walk into the main compartment and look around.
Yeah.
It is you guys.
Oh,
Hi. Sorry. Could you stop the train, Miss Demeril?
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
I have a good reason for this.
As the train slows down. Did you
What's the
guys
matter?
just get here?
No.
To Coriostellum?
No, to the Nexus.
yes.
Well, we passed here a few days ago, but
Going the other way. Right.
Oh, that's what that signature was. Okay, good. Whew. I thought you were being traced by another train. Yeah, I came to see if everything was all right. So I decided to take the castle down and see you, and then I saw your train heading north, and I noticed that the ley lines were charged with train energy, so I thought there was another train heading straight for you, so I was trying to get you to not run into the other train. Sorry, I would have waved at you, Miss Demeril, but I didn't know what was... I thought you were going to crash headlong into a train. I don't know how ley line trains work, if they can dodge each other or not.
the
run over.
castle.
Yeah, I'm gonna run over and give her a hug and then look up and say, "Did you just say you brought the castle?"
Yeah, I just gated in. I was going to check in on the Nexus to see where the train had gone.
Oh, bless you. We were hoping to like catch the castle and get back to the Duchy of Wokomal, like now.
Oh, are you in danger?
No,
No.
but we need to be elsewhere.
Oh, you're being chased by the authorities. That happens to me a lot.
No.
That's not it.
Oh.
No, the danger is elsewhere in the world, and we are on the wrong side of it.
We've actually done a pretty good job of solving a lot of problems around. Not
Oh.
every problem, but a lot of them.
The Dark Witch has been driven from Coriostellum. Her machinations here failed.
Which one?
The sorceress from the Darklands.
Oh, the sorceress Morwenna. Okay. Wait, she was here?
Yes.
Yes.
Morwenna was
Manipulating my family.
She peers at you warily and then looks at your laurel. Oh. What? Why do you...
We have a lot to explain.
You're the last pilgrim. Wait, how are you the last... That's a discussion for later. I have many questions for you. Okay, so... Okay.
And
So-
fortunately for you, like any good lore master, I have been writing most of it down.
I will want to copy your notes when we get a chance. Any other... Well, so the sorceress was here. Is she still here? No, you drove her out. That's what you just said. So she's not here anymore.
And she's going east to the
Darklands?
Sultanate.
Oh. What? Why? What does she need with Magispheres?
There's apparently
Something dark.
something that was
Something you-
uncovered in a pit.
Right. You and I saw it in a vision.
Very old.
What was the name? What was the name of the thing we read in the document? The Harvesters.
Harvesters.
Yeah.
we believe they may have found something either called or adjacent to harvesters, powerful technology left behind by those that
Ancient.
came before.
Yes.
But this is all vague, and we have very little in the way of exact details of what the Sultanate is up to. But better chances than not, the sorceress is
Behind
going
it.
to have her is going to be weaving her web there.
If she isn't already.
Ms. Demerel, do your leaders treat with sorcerers? I thought your people only used magitech exclusively.
Yeah, we don't really do a whole lot of the magic standard stuff.
Well,
It's a means to an end.
neither do those of Corio.
And yet
But
there we were.
but where there is ambition and those looking for power, uh, the sorceress has a way of weaving her words.
Okay. So, do you know how did she charter a boat, an airship?
Oh no, I point at the Nexus. She used the Nexus in some sort of. Didn't you say you thought it was like a teleportation ritual?
Something of the sort. She traveled by weird magic cloud. I don't know. More, you're better at this than I am. Oh dear God, I just admitted that someone's better at something than I am. Man, I really
It's
have
about
changed.
time.
Magic Cloud, I think, actually is pretty close.
So she probably knows some elementalism and summoned a cloud. So she basically made her own
It looked
airship
like-
out of clouds. Okay.
It looked like a cloud of darkness, if that helps.
Well, at least she has a theme. Okay, so she's moving at least at the speed of an airship, maybe faster. She's an... Wait, why would she use a cloud if she's an entropist? Unless she's not an entropist. And we've been having this wrong the entire time. And she's been an elementalist this whole time.
Or maybe
Darkness
she
is an
knows-
element.
Or perhaps even wait. Could it
Why not
be
both?
no. Perhaps she's an arcanist.
Well, she is a sorceress, so there's no telling exactly what type of magic.
Well,
she
but
prefers.
think about it. Her plan here in Corio Stellum was interfering with a Grand Arcanum.
Yeah, the only people who care about dealing with Arcanum are Arcanists. I mean, and Spiritualists, I guess, but... An Elementalist needs no help from a Grand Spirit. They can just pull from the Ether and the Sea of Souls if they need to. So she's
Speaking
an
of
Arcanist,
that-
then.
Is there anything that my character would know more about Morwen of the Sorceress because of my, upbringing and proximity to her in the Darklands and what the legends there would
Insight
say
is
about
part
her?
of it. You search back
Okay.
in your memories and pierce through your amnesia a bit. Maybe you learned something the last few times you fought her.
Oh, what if... Perhaps we may find something regarding the Grand Arcanum of Shadow.
It's not an open roll, is it?
It is.
Okay, then it's an 11.
When you think about it, and think about it some more, you're not wrong in thinking that someone could be more than one thing. Like, you could be a master of multiple schools. You could be an elementalist and an entropist and an arcanist, but you're talking about someone who's at level, which she's at the right level where she could be theoretically a master of 3 things. So that's not unheard of. You do know she knows elementalism. You fought that. You do know she knows some entropism, entropy, and she knows some elementalism. But whether she has any levels as an arcanist You're not sure. You don't
Well,
remember
what-
fighting her that way, because she beat you with all her other powers she has.
Right. Well, it occurs to me, though, that if she were an arcanist, would she not have gone to confront Pyrian and subjugate him herself with her own power to, like, be able to call on him? Like, that's what
Right.
arcanists do, is call on summons.
Right. The thing is,
She
I
didn't
think
do that, so I don't think she can do that.
no, she didn't do that, but at the same time, that might be because we interfered.
Well, she never even made a move to come that direction herself. She sent people to come and destroy Pyrian. If she were looking to add his power to her own, as an arcanist would, that would never have been her plan in the first place.
Right.
Don't you see
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, I do. I think it's a little too early to be completely discounting the Arcanist theory, though.
Fair enough.
She could have had any myriad of reasons as an Arcanist. Like, if she's, say, an Arcanist of, like, a grand Arcanum of Darkness, it could be a thing of it's not enough to just subjugate the other Arcanum, just destroy the other Arcanum altogether so that hers is the only one that matters.
Without the Grand Arcanum, there are no Lesser Arcanum. Although I've never heard of anyone being able to, it's like destroying the sky and drying up the ocean. It's
Well, certainly, people here certainly tried. That was
And
their
it's-
aim. That was their aim. We prevented it.
And we've determined that the sorceress's ambitions are nothing if not global and far-reaching.
all right then. So you don't. There's nothing else you need to do here in Coriostellum?
No, we were traveling north, hoping to pass into the duchy the long way. This
Oh.
is most fortuitous.
Hmm. Well, I presume you want to bring the train. She looks over at Seven.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm
I
just
wasn't
nodding.
asking you, sir. I was asking the lady.
Yeah, we're bringing the train.
Okay. Well, we could probably just. I mean, if you get back a little south and then head northwest, we can go back to where my gate was. Probably still there. I was only popping in for a brief second. So, although we really should get back. It's sooner rather than later. Yeah, we could probably just shift the castle toward wherever you want to go. Although we'll have to figure out what rails we need to go on. But I leave that to you, Miss Demeril. You know your railway system better than anyone of us here. Well, no, more than me. I don't know the railways that better. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, I do have this, true map of the countless realms, slightly incomplete. We can use that to hopefully locate a rail line where we need to go.
Well, we
If,
do know
I
some.
allow
We
Laura
do.
to study it with me.
Yeah, we do know a couple of them, but
All right.
yes, very well. She'll head back to the castle. I would very much like to give my regards to the Duke again.
Well, I'm sure we can easily arrange that. So yes, Miss Demeril, we need to go a little bit south the way we came, and then northwest, and that the gate. You should be able to drive straight through the gate. Although go at half speed because we weren't expecting the train to come through, so we'll need to give them a heads up that we're coming. Or you can blow your whistle. I'm sure they'll hear it. I'm sure they probably did hear it, and they cleared the tracks anyway. Oh, I'm gonna be. I have to talk to some guards who are gonna be very
You
scared.
say
right
go
now.
south and then go northeast. Does that mean like going off the tracks?
No, you are heading northeast now.
Oh,
We have to go
okay.
back to the Nexus and go northwest.
Okay.
Northwest, am I right? Oh, sorry. Hard west, not northwest. They'll take us into the mountains. Yes. Hard west. Sorry.
Okay, so you want to go to there. I gotcha. Okay.
Sorry, I don't use trains that often.
I found them to be very efficient.
I really should get myself one of these. Where'd you buy yours?
Where did you buy yours?
I look over at.
We all just look at 7.
Where'd I buy what?
Where'd you buy your train? If you know a good dealer, I would love to talk to them.
Well, you get that little part here, scrap, you get a little part there, put it together eventually.
Willpower is part of it. Let's see if she buys your story.
Oh god.
What? It was a
14.
11. Oh, so you scavenged and built it all out of. This is really good for a scavenged train. Oh, you must have made such a savings on it. Maybe I should try it.
Or take a few years of learning Magitech engineering.
I'm just gonna buy a train outright. No, I'm not doing that. She says, looking around, and she gets comfy in a seat and looks around. And she's been in the train before. It's just it's like, oh, it's been a while since she's been in this train. Yeah, do you head back to the castle that appears the horizon?
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
Seems like it's been so long since we've been there.
Right.
You pass through the massive green and black gates marked with their many runes, just sitting there as there's 2 big towers and a big gate in the middle. Just sitting there in the middle of a grass. There's no castle attached to it or anything. From outside, it's like someone instantly built 2 towers and a gate in the middle of a field. And then a ley line starts lighting up as the train gets closer and closer and goes in one way and doesn't come out the other. And then some bandit looking down at this just blinks like, what the? And then the gate just vanishes. The bandit looks at their flask of water, and they put it down, and they go back to camp to get relieved. They haven't slept for a while, apparently. There's no way that just happened. Meanwhile, you arrive once more into the Castle Highmount. As your train pulls in, thankfully the tracks have been emptied a bit because the whistle from earlier made them clear the tracks, and they were starting to like, oh, no train's coming because there was a delay, and then they saw you coming along the track, like, oh, we better get out of the way. And you're able to pull in. The gates shut, and the vision of Coriostellum's fields vanish. And you are in the busy station of Castle Highmount. So, do you wish to come up to speak with the Duke, or do you want to just get on your way? I mean, he won't mind being visited if you wish.
We should speak with the Duke. We have updates for him, and as mentioned before, I should also provide you copies of some of my notes.
Well, you're all free to rest up in the castle if you like, or we can pay for you to stay at one of the inns in town.
I don't think we need to rest. I think we should be on our way.
Oh, okay.
The visit would be
Soon.
good, though. Yeah. Just the visit.
Sure. Well, we'll have regards watch your train then, and we can head up to the castle.
Good.
I got really lucky running into all of you. I thought I was gonna have to search up and down the Republic, looking up along the ley lines. And you all start walking through the bright castle town of Castle Highmount, as various peoples from around the countless realms come and go. And you start ascending. Various people look to you and nod. You know, there are people who are aware of your heroics in the Darklands and what you did for the duchy and their duke. They know not yet of what you've done for Corio. The news is literally with you and the lady Jessica alone, but in time that may change rapidly. The one thing that you will see as you, for a brief moment, all of you think you see the countenance of a certain Knight Eckhart passing through passing through the castle town. And when you turn to look at the Dark Knight, you see his absence. Was it perhaps a memory of when he traveled with you? Or have more Dark Knights come into the duchy? That may be something you'll look into next time. Good golly. That will be the end of today's episode. For all of you watching out there, thank you very much for watching. For those of you playing, thank you very much for playing. And we look forward to seeing you again next time. Have a good one.
Great game.
Bye.
Woo-hoo.
Bye. Great game. Thank you.
I'm so glad that ritual did not fail. You guys haven't failed
Yeah.
the ritual yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah. And the good news is, like, for you, more Duncan, even if you had to spend another Ultima and then another Ultima beyond that, I do have my thing that would have let you take an Ultima from me. Or Fabula from me. Other way around. You know what I mean.
Yes.
Right.
Are we the baddies? No.
Are we the baddies? We have skulls on our
Lucius
hats.
might have been at one point, but I think we've got him on the right path.
Oh.
And just I will admit, pure chance about the Lady Jessica. I was like, discovering, like, at a Nexus, I'm like, yeah, this seems like a good spot to put down a gate, because that if she was going to guess anywhere, it's like, well, I have to find where they went. I'll go to the Nexus and check the ley line, see which way they went. There's a train that went north and a train that went south. There's only so many trains here, so... Oh no, there they are!
And they're both the same train.
I just think it's hilarious the way you describe some random person just run up the back.